Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries. The latest book from veteran author Vince McKee takes you behind the scenes of some of the biggest moments in Ohio high school football history. McKee has every big rivalry covered, from the Holy War to the Silver Rail. You can find Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries anywhere books are sold or online at Amazon.com. Gable's Search Group. Founded in 2002, they help companies find candidates for most of their open positions nationwide. Gable's Search Group is a professional placement firm located in Willoughby and only 20 minutes from the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. They specialize in areas of accounting, finance, legal, sales and marketing, information technology, engineering, and a host of other personnel. Their company can place an individual on a permanent or temporary basis nationwide. You can find out more about them today by visiting www.gablesearch.com or calling 440-951-9990. Start your career today with Gable Search Group. Airport Go-Kart. If you're looking for a fun time with your kids or friends, then head over to Airport Go-Kart at 16208 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. It's fun for everyone involved at a next to nothing price.
And welcome in to Week 6. It's the Keon Sports Game of the Week here from Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Thank you everybody for watching and listening live here. Apologies for the quick delay. Very quick start for the visiting Minter Cardinals. They had a massive kick return, took it all the way into the red zone, and all they needed was a few additional seconds really to put that one into the end zone. I'm Cole McDaniel, alongside me Dom Clary, again Brandon Soder with us here as well. Going to be an interesting one tonight, conference action. And here's a big catch, an opportunity for Brunswick to score. They're going to respond right back as Ethan Roxandich finds his receiver, number 3, Matthew Horden. A huge play.
That's a 55-yard touchdown pass. And just like that, we just start this stream up and bang, bang, here we go here at Brunswick.
Hard to believe. This thing is moving fast. We barely had time to get this going, really intro this game and talk about it. So we're going to touch on both of these teams in this matchup here in just a moment. But if this is a made PAT, then it will be a tie ball game. But no! Extra point. A little awkward there as didn't get any air on that ball. Couldn't get up over the line, but it is 7-6 in favor of the visiting Minter Cardinals, who come in with a record of 2-2 overall. They had a bye week this past week, no game on the schedule, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. This is the GCC opener for them. For the home Blue Devils, they come in with an overall record of 2-3, 1-0 in the Greater Cleveland Conference.
You know, one thing about what we just saw on the field, Cole, we've seen 3 offensive plays and 2 touchdowns. I don't think we've seen that here working together so far. That's pretty cool. But back on these teams, you know, we've had both teams that have difficult schedules so far. I mean, Mentor's had a slaughter of a schedule. The McKinney Bulldogs, the first team they played, that's a 1-4 team currently, but it was a tough game for them. St. Ignatius, a game they lost. It's one of the best teams in the state every year. We know a lot about St. Ignatius. Pretty sure if you're listening, you understand them. Then you have Riverside, a team that, yeah, they lost to, and then they, let's see, and then they won here against Football North, I believe. Actually, it says some of the wins and losses are different than what they are, Cole, on the thing they gave us.
Yeah, and it was Mississauga North that they played, and they fell in that one.
They fell. It says they won here. Well, I guess it says it's won from their perspective. I'm reading the schedule wrong, Cole. But anyway, they played a 1-4 team that they beat. They lost to a 3-1 team, beat a 4-1 team, then lost to a 3-2 team from Canada. So they've had a hard schedule. And then you have Brunswick, where they've had a hard schedule on their own. I mean, Cleveland Heights is a good team. Olmsted Falls, I mean, that's a killer of 2 games. Medina Highland, not a team I'm too familiar with, and then beat Toledo Waite, and then Euclid, and put up almost 100 points combined in those games. pretty impressive. This offense is starting to figure it out, Cole.
So as the Cardinals' offense is out there on the field, it's quarterback number 15, Scotty Fox, the sophomore who leads the team out there. Coming into the night, had 759 passing yards, 65 of 126 passing, 5 TDs, 5 INTs, already starting the night off with a touchdown. After the completion, they're going to set up 2nd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. We've played less than 2 minutes. Both teams have scored. Rolling to his left, finds his intended receiver here to the near side, cutting inside, getting past the 40-yard line, and that's their star senior receiver, number 13, Jordan Stapleton. Stapleton coming into this matchup tonight, 22 receptions on the season, 395 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I like the way this team is built on the wide receiver end. You have a young quarterback throwing to 3 seniors as his option. That's a pretty good way to build up your quarterback here in his 2nd season.
Man in motion. Here's a handoff up the middle. A lot of blue jerseys surrounding the ball carrier. That's Mitchell Waite, the senior tailback. 86 carries on the season for 358 yards and 7 touchdowns coming into tonight. Expect to see him get some carries, but it's going to be out of the gun as you're going to see that spread. 4 wide receivers on the field a lot. Sometimes they will bring in a tight end on some of those earlier downs. You're going to see 4 receivers out there and Waite, the sidecar off to the left of Fox. Fox takes the snap, looks to the near side. Completion there and just out of bounds is Stapleton. Nice little pickup there on that 1st down reception.
You know, one thing I like about this team is for Waite, you have a lot of big linemen there in front of him. I mean, left tackle, you have a 275-pound senior, 240-pound junior, 240-pound junior, a 225-pound senior, and a 245-pound senior. Bigger than the offensive lines I played with in high school. Cool. He's had a lot of meat there in front of him to run behind.
Fakes the handoff, a throw up the middle, and a strike there to the receiver. That's Jacob Snow, the senior. Moves the chains, and the Cardinals into Blue Devils territory again. So talked about the Cardinals here on the road tonight. Coming off of a bye week, didn't have a team on the schedule this past week. 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Tough matchups. Played against Canton McKinley, St. Ignatius Riverside, and we mentioned Football North coming down from Ontario, Canada. So fairly battle-tested.
Absolutely.
Playing a tough schedule here. And Brunswick, a team that got the best of them last year, and Mentor wants revenge. And they're looking for a quick strike, a deep throw to the end zone, and just past the outstretched hands of Snow, falling incomplete.
I like that there in 1st down. Let's take a shot. You have a wide open wide receiver there. Just overthrew him a little bit. Yeah, I'd like to see those shots downfield, Cole.
And so this is the 15th all-time meeting between these two programs. Of course, Mentor winning 13 of the previous 14. As I mentioned, last year was the only year that Brunswick got the win here, and you know Mentor wants the revenge, but a lot of credit to Brunswick. They've started pretty good offensively as well. On needing that defense to step up, though, and get it done against a high-powered Mentor offense. Dump off to the tailback, Waite. Got some positive yards there, setting up now a 3rd and 3 from the 34-yard line. You
know, we talk about last year. Brunswick was pretty impressive last year, a team that went to the playoffs. I believe they finished 2nd here in the conference. And a Mentor team that wasn't what we've seen in the past, had a lot of injuries, but it still took a Hail Mary for Brunswick to even beat Mentor last year. You're going to see a dogfight. Mentor wants payback, and Brunswick wants to keep that streak going. They want to start a streak here and continue those good fortunes as they look for 500.
4 wide again, and Fox takes a look over the sideline. Here's the snap, dropping back, looking to the outside, fits it in a tight window. And a deep slant there and an excellent completion. Holden Cerny, one of those senior wide receivers, picking up the 1st down.
You had a linebacker right there. If he knew that there was a slant route behind him, that could have been a pick going the other direction. That pass was a little bit high right there, right there where it had to be. Able to reach back for it. Beautiful catch.
Fox rolling to his right. Finds Cerny again, and Cerny tiptoeing. Gets about 2 extra yards after he tiptoes down the sideline.
I like this. Take pressure off Fox. Also, take a little pressure off of that offensive line. Roll them out a little bit. Quick action there in the middle of the field. Make it easy on your offensive line. Don't have them pass blocking for minutes and minutes and minutes. You know, do a little quick action. Move the quarterback around. Keep that defense guessing. It's hard to pass rush when you don't know where the quarterback's going to be or how long he's going to have the ball.
Looks like Jacob Snow's going to take the snap here. Decides to keep it. Lots of blue jerseys there. An excellent stop on 2nd down. It will set up 3rd down now.
You know, you mentioned Jacob Snow. He was actually the target on that pass there that was towards the end zone that was just too far. So they're going to use him a little bit more. They have him on the depth chart as a backup quarterback, but he could be a Taysom Hill type role where we could see him moved around a lot in different situations.
Going to refer to him as the gadget player, also a safety on the defense. So they're going to need him to come up big defensively too. So you're going to see him on both sides of the field.
And those players are hard to come around. We'll talk about a little bit of that after this play here.
Snow in motion. Fox rolling to his left. He's got plenty of time, delivers a strike up the middle. That's going to move the chains and set up a 1st and goal. Spotted down at the 2-yard line.
You know, my favorite gadget player ever was, my cat was named after him, Cordell Stewart. Played for the Steelers in the 90s. You know I got to put my Steelers reference in there.
Always.
Despite
every
yesterday's
week.
result. But every week, you know, he called him slash wide receiver, slash running back, slash quarterback. Led the Steelers in an AFC championship game. Wasn't able to do it. Had a solid career. Type of players, we like putting the slashes next to players. It makes football more unique.
Couple whistles, and it's going to be what appears to be a false start going against the offense. No. Encroachment on the defense.
And that's a win there for the offense. Anytime you get encroachment there.
Not really going to move the football too much closer to the end zone, though, Dom.
No, but makes you feel a little bit better about yourself, your
Still
offensive
win.
line.
Yeah. Wasn't against you.
Anytime that you see that line judge throw the flag up before the play, you're like, oh, no, what did the offensive line do this time? And then, oh, thank you. It was the defensive line, not the offensive line. That makes me smile as a former offensive lineman.
You know, we were talking about gadget players, and what was so interesting, and you can think about Ohio State's got a big game tomorrow. It's so interesting when Braxton Miller was no longer a quarterback. He was more of a gadget wide receiver and sometimes take some snaps. Speaking of a gadget player, here is Snow. Snow with the keeper, and he was swallowed up in the backfield. Brunswick standing tall with their backs against their own end zone. Now 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line, and a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kellymac.com.
Jacob Snow in the slot to the right there.
Rolling to the left, plenty of time, and that one falls incomplete. Stapleton was stretching his arms out, had to dive and went to ground. Just a little bit too hot coming his way. Would have been tough to catch that one. Big 3rd down for the home squad.
You know, that's your number one option there. If you're Fox, Stapleton, that's the guy I want the ball here in these situations. Great wide receivers make their names known right there between the 5 and the goal line. What can you do here in the red zone?
Brunswick down 1, looking for the early stop, and a little one-handed grab. The scoop there from Waite snuck out of the backfield to the corner of the end zone. Pitch and catch in the backyard there for Fox and Waite.
I like the dynamic we're seeing from Fox and all the weapons there in the field. You can really feel they're in sync out there. You know, this Brunswick defense played strong there here at the goal line, but that didn't bother Renner. They've seen it before, and they played tough, able to keep those connections strong, able to finish with a touchdown. Not just good offense, and again, they went against a defense that was prepared.
Kick is good, and that will make it 14-6 in favor of the visitors. So Dom obviously talked about the fast start for both of these offenses. That was more of a slow, drawn-out drive, especially when it got to inside the 5. Brunswick really fought hard. They scrapped and clawed there, just happened to give up that touchdown. But the first 2 touchdowns for both of these teams came very quick in quick succession. Again, we'll recap a little bit of what happened here before our stream started. Again, a very quick touchdown for Minter. Huge return off of the opening kickoff, got down inside the 10. Of course, I'll let you talk about that initial touchdown that they had.
That initial touchdown was all started because of a kickoff return there for Mentor. They brought the ball down to the 4. Then we saw it was a one-play drive for that offense. Where, let me see here, Scotty Fox was able to complete off the short drive with the pass to Henry Schenk. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Absolutely, and so that is 2 touchdown passes already for the sophomore quarterback in Fox. Both short touchdown passes, but getting it done so far in the red zone. Now, Brunswick responded very quickly, as you saw here, right at the start of this game. Rock Sandich was able to find his receiver, and Horton took it to the house. Here's the return. Brunswick gets this out to, looked like about the 34-yard line, and that is where Rock Sandich, the Rock, and his offense will return to the field. And I know you love that nickname.
It's not just that nickname. I like watching him play. He's a player that I think that we're going to see big steps that we saw last week from Strongsville's quarterback in Beard, where we saw a completely different quarterback from week 1 to last week. Now, can we see a different type of quarterback in the Rock? He was a little starstruck there against Olmsted Falls when they played him. He wasn't able to step the feet, missed wide receivers on throws from time to time, had trouble reading the defense. But I think he's going to progress here, and we're going to see a quarterback that's really coming into his own here.
Flag on the play, and going to be encroachment on Minter. So 5 yards for the Blue Devils. And we talked a little bit about them coming in with a record of 2-3, getting their first win last week in the GCC. So back-to-back wins for them versus Waite from Toledo, 48-12, and then against Euclid last week at the start of conference play, 44-13. Rock Sandich with the keeper, tripped up in the backfield. Excellent push there from the front 7 of the Cardinals.
Mentor, they have a defense here. They don't want to give up a lot of points here. They've been in a lot of battles, and those are decided through your defense. They've won 2 because of the defense, and they lost 2 because maybe the defense didn't hold as much as they wanted. But now they have an opportunity to go against a team that's looking for the big plays. They're looking for the QB runs, leading with the play action after, and then throwing the ball deep. How well can you play against a team that can do that? We're going to find out here, Cole.
Rock Sandich rolling to his left, on the run, delivers a strike. That's going to be a first down up to the 50-yard line. Talking about the players to watch, we've discussed Rock Sandich. Of course, Brandon Nichols, the senior running back, we saw him have really an impressive second half, that second game of the season. Cade Som, the senior wide receiver, as well as Jack Safko, another senior wide receiver. A couple guys to pay attention to out there. Plus, Matthew Horton already has a touchdown to his name on a really big reception tonight. Here's a handoff up the middle on first down. Gain of 3. It looks like that's more of a 2nd and 7. They do correct it there on the scoreboard. So 2nd and 7 from the 47. Brunswick taking their time to get the offensive call in, get everything sorted out there on the field. We're under 4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Again, it's week 6 already. It's officially fall, and the weather definitely turned to fall weather. It felt like we had the hot summer weather, and it's a beautiful night tonight. Here's a keeper for Rock Sandich. And although he gets past the 40-yard line, something to pay attention to is the penalty marker that is right in the middle of the field on the logo. I think this one's coming back. And it is. Holding against the Blue Devils. And that's a killer after a really nice play.
That's my least favorite call in football, Cole, the holding penalty.
In addition to always throwing something in about the Steelers every week, there's always something that you say that really unveils that you were an offensive lineman as well.
Cole, I can't hide my identity here when I'm talking about football, being an offensive lineman, you just don't be an offensive lineman. It's part of your identity. It's part of who you are, because it's one of the true things in any sport where you can do the best of your ability and have a perfect game, but if the guys next to you don't, your team's going to struggle. And that's the beauty of it.
There's a clap of the hands there from Roxandich. He wants to dump that one off, and as he was looking for the halfback screen, batted down by the Cardinals. Just nice awareness there from Andrew Fedor, the defensive lineman.
And that's a very good job by the defensive line there. That's how you're studying film when there's a screenplay and you're not faltering, right? They kind of slow down their pass rush, put the arms up. They knew that the rusher was behind, or that the target was behind them, but they didn't have enough time to pursue that. Put their arms up, swat it down. That's beautiful effort there by that D-line.
On 3rd and 20, Roxandich looking down the field, delivers this one high, and there were white jerseys surrounding the intended target, Safko, so even if he was able to put that one on Safko, Safko would have been short of the chains. So after the incompletion, 4th and 20 from the 40, and the punting unit onto the field.
And that's the one thing about Roxandich is that I think he gets a little excited, sails the ball a little bit, right? Maybe lifts his front shoulder a little bit, and that can kind of, when you dip your back shoulder, lift your front shoulder, kind of throw it high a little bit more than you want. You can sail it.
Yeah, it looked like the pressure there nearly blocked that punt. Roxandich serving as the punter as well, off of the side of his foot. Not too much distance there on that. It went out at the 35-yard line. So official punt of 25 yards.
Well, if you're Menor, you have a beautiful opportunity here. Let's see if we can run away with this ball game, right? That's the attitude here earlier in the game. Let's score as many points here early and kind of start putting different players in, but we're far from that because this Brunswick defense, they're a tough group here.
Minter with the spread out there again. 4 wide receivers. This short pass blown up there by the defensive back. Sniffed that one out right away, and the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
That's great defense there by that defensive back. You see that ball, you're not able to really jump the ball. You're not really able to make a play on it, but you're able to make a play on the receiver. It's in the flats there. You're downhill immediately. That is beautiful effort. That's how you break up a pass. Even that ball's caught, that's maybe a gain of 1. That's beautiful defense here by that Brunswick because they're running a 3-3 stack here.
Short pass to the flat out to the far side. Little burst of speed there from Snow as soon as he touches the football. Past the 40-yard line up to the 41. 3rd and much more manageable, only 4 yards to go.
Snow is slash here. He's playing a little bit of everything. We've seen him get the ball in a combo of different ways. It's a player that we're going to have to highlight here. He could do a lot of damage here in this game.
And Fox, the sophomore, looking to get the first down. Back to pass. Puts that one on the money. Safety was coming up over the top and need to put that one into that window, and he stuck it in there. Nick Jares, the senior, hauled that one in, moved the chains, and once again into Blue Devils territory, and they've had success. 2 of 2 so far when they've been in Blue Devils territory. Fox rolling to his right. Got a wide open receiver out to the far sideline, stretching for the chains. And looks like Cerny going to be just short. We'll see where they spot it. Almost looked like it was about an inch short. No, they're going to move the chains there. First down.
This offense is fun to watch, Cole. I mean, right. First off, this offensive line looks impenetrable right now. I mean, you have 3 down linemen, kind of easy to block against, right? You can have 2 double teams here in your pass pro, but they send more. If they send 2 people, you have 2 to give here. And they're throwing pressures and they're picking it up. This offensive line's playing well thus far.
Here's a short pass to the near side. Snow trying to make a move. There wasn't a ton of room for him there after he caught the ball. Penalty marker down on the ground, and I think that's going to go against the Cardinals.
So there was a penalty, but let's talk about that play a little bit. I like that play. So what they did is they did a double trap to the right. So you have your left guard, your left tackle pulling to the right. This now brings this brings the linebackers downhill, and it has the backside players of the defense chasing those pullers, and it opens things up all around the field for you to do a pass there. Right? It can be risky if there's not an initial receiver open. Right there, that's some quick action there. That may have even been an RPO, but it's hard to tell unless they give there. We'll have to look out for that next time, but that's a play to look for.
Play action, looking deep into double coverage. Just a little stumble there. Feet got tangled up. Closest target to that ball was actually the defensive back, number 11, James Toomey. Senior defensive back when we were here week 2. Played a really nice game. Saw him be very involved in special teams as well as a returner. And back there on defense, that one he nearly hauled in for an interception.
Yeah, if he gets a little bit more of a jump on there, he was tangled up with the receiver. If that doesn't happen, maybe he gets that pick there. But it's hard to tell there with that receiver falling down. But this is an interesting play here. 2nd and long. What type of play do you run? Maybe a draw, screen maybe.
Mentioned it. 2nd and long, 17 yards to be exact. Trying to get all of it in one play there. Sails that out of bounds over the head of Cerny, the intended wide receiver. 3rd and 17. Brunswick looking to hold strong on defense, and this would be a really huge stop momentum-wise at the end of the first quarter.
Absolutely. If you're Brunswick, you kind of needed to show your strength here on defense after giving some chunk plays, even on special teams. Now you can stop them. This could be 4th down territory, but probably not since it's 3rd and so long here.
4 wide again. Fox takes the snap. Looking for that slant. And that's intercepted. Brunswick getting the interception. Great pick. And that's a huge play and exactly what the home team needed.
What a beautiful pick there with contact. That was 19. Is there a 19? Is that a 19 or 18 there in that roster? It might have been Landon Case. I'm not.
Yeah, I believe that's number 19.
Yeah, that's an 18 there. So there's 2 18s on the roster, but we'll assume that's Landon Case. I haven't looked at the position though. That's a defensive back. I'm guessing that's Landon Case, even though the numbers were mixed up. But that's a beautiful play there by Landon Case, able to absorb the contact there in defense and pull it in.
With 1 minute remaining here in the quarter, interesting play there is wide receiver number 87. Looks like Anthony Watala threw that one down the field. Incompletion there, and penalty marker was down on the field, illegal formation against Brunswick. So after the big defensive play, backing up a little bit.
Yeah, you try running a special play there, hoping it would work. Didn't really throw him off there. That's great coverage. That was number 4 there on defense with the coverage, Chase Hall. Phenomenal effort there by him, being able to stand as receiver, even though that, hey, there's a wide receiver with the ball in the backfield. He could be running, but I'm going to stick with my coverage. I'm going to stick with my principles in my role, and I'm going to make a positive play happen. And that's exactly what Hall did there. What's interesting here, Cole, is, last year we noticed this. They do it a little bit still this year. Brunswick loves those rollout plays on offense. Getting the rock out there. But Menor likes doing the same thing.
Roxandich with the keeper. Finds a little gap in between his left tackle and left guard. And slips out there for a couple-yard gain. Will be 3rd down. They're going to have to run another play here before the end of the quarter. Play clock down to 34 seconds. Game clock at 36 seconds. About 2-second difference there. Ball on the 28-yard line. A lot of pressure. Roxandich trying to escape. Looked like he was going to escape, but ran into his own offensive lineman, and that's what took him down. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. And 14-6 is how this quarter is going to wrap up in favor of the visitors, the Mentor Cardinals. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by All-in-One Services. Mike Zeck brings 37 years of experience with him to every job. Doesn't matter how big or small, Mike Zeck with All-in-One Services is the man to get it done. He can be reached at 919-909-7779 or online at allinoneservices.net. You can also email him pictures of the job needed to mzeck@allinoneservices.net. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter here for the Keon Sports Game of the Week from Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. And it's going to be a punt for the Blue Devils after the sack. And Rock Sandich, the quarterback, also serving as the punter. Gets better distance on this one compared to the first punt. It is fielded. And taking that one into Brunswick territory was Cerny. Great field position here for the Cardinals after they threw the interception on the last drive. It had been a great start for Scotty Fox. 2 touchdowns to start, first 2 drives. Third drive was moving well until on that slant, defensive back Case jumped it.
You know, the last thing you want to do is when your defense gets a positive result, like a turnover, is to have a 3 and out. You got that penalty in the first play, not really able to move the ball. Not what you want to do here if you're Brunswick. You need your offense and your defense to work out together here. We have 3 wide receivers, only 2 cornerbacks here. Is a safety part of that.
Short dump off to the tailback. And Wade gets a positive gain there and steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line, 2nd and 4.
You know, you have a loose zone being played here by Brunswick. And you have a Mentor team that's just ripping it apart right now, right? You can see the 2 near side corners are playing really loose, allowing room. They're playing a zone, not a player. You might have a player or 2 playing a player, but usually, you know, you have a bunch of players playing the zone. Loosens things up there for the offense.
High snap. Quick completion there to Snow. Snow gets out past the first down marker and gets plenty of extra yardage, and that's credit to his fellow wide receiver on the outside, giving him a nice block, and Snow has been all over the place.
It's, you know, let's just call him Slash at this point, Cole. He's just doing everything for his team. He's explosive when he gets to the ball. He's a player that we could be talking about later when that clock's 0, player that we can really be talking about here.
Wait to the left of Fox in the backfield. Looking to his left, a little shoulder fake. Now pressure up the middle and brought down for a sack. That initial pressure making him get flushed out, and he wasn't able to get around the edge. Fox going to ground, and Brunswick, a really nice sack there. So once they've been getting closer and closer to their own end zone defending, it's when that defense has really stepped it up. Almost dialing it up another notch, Dom.
And his defense is getting initial pressure, but they're doing a good job redirecting, right? A good job when that play kind of breaks up and getting those coverage sacks. It's a good job there by that defense. They need more initial pressure, though.
Fox, keeper, makes a man miss. Gets a good amount of yardage back. Not the full 8 yards that he lost. Going to be a 3rd and long from the 30, it's going to be from the 27.
Now this is where the zone is really big here for Brunswick. When you play a zone, you're keeping everything in front of you. You have 2 or 3 safeties really playing deep here. 2 here, there's really going to be 1 safety here. But even those cornerbacks are able to play deep. You're going to have linebacker help. You have 3 linebackers to help with you. So everything's going to be in front of you here in this 3rd and long situation.
Trips right, looking right. And incomplete. That should have been caught by Jordan Stapleton. One of the favorite targets there of Fox. Maybe he was leading him just a little bit much, but hits your fingertips, got to haul that one in there.
You know, there was a player who said that, Cole. Do you recall what player that was their catchphrase?
Well, I think I tossed that one to you because I remember that from a few weeks ago. I believe that was Lynn Swan.
Yeah, it was Lynn Swan. So let's throw in another Steeler reference here in Northeast Ohio.
We'll give you all the Steeler references you want because of last night. I don't think people are going to be too bothered by that, but we will see.
Hey, you can have the win. We'll take the Super Bowl rings, Cole.
Might be hard to come by in the coming seasons, but we will wait and see on that.
I see what you did there.
After the offsides on the Brunswick Blue Devils, giving 5 yards to the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to keep their offense on the field for a 4th and 7 from the 22. Pressure, hit as he throws, another interception. It's Toomey. Toomey making a man miss. Getting outside, trying to cut back. If he can get back across the field, he's got a lot of room to run. And brought down by Cerny from behind. Star defensive back James Toomey coming up huge for Brunswick. Wow.
Toomey. What a player, what a play. We talked about him. You talked about him just a little bit ago, a few possessions. He comes up big here with the interception and almost puts his team in positive territory there. He picked that off, I believe, at the 5, almost at the goal line. This is how a defense positively impacts your offense. You say, hey, you're struggling. Let's get you in good field position. We got your back. We're going to keep that score close for you so you can get your work done here on offense. That's how good teams complement each other. The offense has to score here. A field goal, but a touchdown here. Now the defense knows they're in business.
So Rock Sandich in the offense, back on the field. A keeper for the quarterback. We know he loves to run, and he's got some room to run. Gets to the second level, and then gets to the secondary, and the safeties coming forward have to bring him down, and that is one play and a first down into Cardinals territory. And going back to that interception, Toomey's going to get credit on the stat sheet. A lot of credit to the defensive line who applied the pressure, made it difficult for Fox, and he got hit as he threw. That was impactful in that turnover as well. Tight end in motion. Roxandich, a keeper again, looking for some space, puts his shoulder down into the chest of the defender, gets about an extra yard after being taken to the ground onto the tackle. Nice gain of 5.
Sometimes I don't know how to feel about the Rock when he lowers his shoulder because, as an offensive lineman, we mentioned before, I get nervous when I see the quarterback lower the shoulder a little bit. But I also hey, my quarterback's being aggressive. So keep it up, but be a little bit smart when you're going to lower your shoulder and when you're going to slide. Sometimes it's not worth the risk, but there you're able to pick a few more yards up and be safe with it. That's smart there by the Rock.
Here's a handoff. A push for the Blue Devils near the first down marker. It looks like they just got there. It should be enough to move the chains. They're going to say it's just shy, that tip of the football looking like it's nearly there at the 35-yard line. But 3rd and maybe just a few inches. We've played 4 minutes here in the second quarter, still very close. And Roxandich getting the first down, cutting back, got a couple extra yards past the 30-yard line, and a very nice drive continues. And if you're the Blue Devils, after getting that interception, the first interception you were able to get, you weren't able to capitalize, put points on the board. It's crucial to make sure you capitalize on ensuing drives after big turnovers. Receiver in motion. That's Som. Handoff up the middle. Cutting back past the 25. 2nd and 4 from the 24. Handoff again. And getting down inside the 15-yard line.
You know, right now, Brunswick, they're clicking here on offense with these run plays. You know, if you're a mentor, you don't know who's going to have the ball here. There's just so many options that Brunswick can do. It can be a keeper. Can it be a run in here by the running back? There's so many options, and they're loading up on that offensive line right here.
Here's a handoff once again. And taken down inside the 10-yard line, and really a bunch formation that they're running there. Yeah, they have the 2 wide receivers out a lot of times going in motion, but they've got a tight end out there, keeping it really tight and compact. A lot of credit to the big offensive linemen up front that are opening up the holes for the running game for Brunswick, and they're just chipping away yard by yard, looking to get on the board. Man in motion again. Roxandich, a keeper, following his lead blocker, looking for that extra effort, kept those legs churning, down at the 6-yard line.
If you can get, so I did aim for the stick here, right? If you can get a first down here, you're in prime position where that playbook can open up, especially where you can get Roxandich and you can move them around with a pass play and kind of trick that defense a little bit. Because right now they're loading up on the front here.
3rd and 2, looks like encroachment on the Cardinals. A jump there, and that's a bailout. And Brunswick will take those couple yards. I mean, that is going to be huge for them. They didn't even have to run a play there and got the first down.
You know, that's why you practice, hey, we have to do hard counts here on offense. You cannot jump if you're a lineman. Let's do hard counts. Let's get used to it. The more we do it, the more it'll be easier for us not to jump. Defense works on it too, but, you know, if you can keep doing it on offense, every week you do the hard count, it'll work out for you from time to time. Sometimes the quarterback just needs to be loud with his voice, aggressive with his voice, and sometimes that can be enough. When you hear the set, the deep voice of a quarterback can sometimes get that guard to jump a little bit. He has a little bit of anticipation there and just falls forward just a little.
And the spot there after the penalty, would have thought they would have gotten the first down. Instead, they say 3rd and inches. Interesting there, but a keeper for Roxandich. He's taken down immediately, but he should have those couple inches that he did need. 1st and goal now, Brunswick.
Wonder if they're going to keep this going here, Cole. I wouldn't really change anything up here, but it's going to be a little bit harder to run the ball here with your quarterback with so many people stacked between the tackles. They don't do a lot of action outside of the tackles, a lot of outside zone sweeps. They don't do too many of those. I like to keep it a little simple. Sometimes they have the jet sweeps mixed in. They, you know, sometimes they'll have those as they'll disguise other things with the jet sweep. But they like to keep things simple, and it looks like they're only going to have 1 wide receiver here.
Clock continues to tick down. Under 4.5 minutes left to go from the 3-yard line. Roxandich, the keeper, looking to punch it in. He gets the push from behind, and that should be enough. Touchdown, Brunswick. And now, Dom, down 2. Missed the PAT the first time. You got to keep the offense out there and go for 2 here.
If I'm the offensive coach right now, I'm holding up the 2 really high right now. If I'm the coach. And I think that's what they might be doing here. I don't see any subs going on. I think they're talking about it. Hey, guys, what do you want to do? I'd go for it. You have nothing. You don't have really anything to gain here if you just kick a field goal or kick an extra point, pardon me. But if you go for 2 here, tie the ball game up, feel a little bit more comfortable, and that's exactly what they're doing, I believe.
Well, you let the blockers do the dirty work from the 3-yard line. You punch it in with the keeper from Roxandich. Here on the 2-point conversion, also from the 3-yard line. Why not go back to the well, how you just scored the touchdown, see if you can get the 2-point conversion that way as well.
So you know what I would do? I would do the Tebow pop pass. I don't know if they have that, but that'd be a beautiful thing, right? You disguise that run there, and at the very second, boom, right to a tight end. Timeout here by Brunswick. Maybe they'll change something. Maybe there's something that he didn't like.
Yeah, perhaps they saw something out there they didn't necessarily like in how the Cardinals lined up or how their offense lined up, so they want to talk this one over again. Still very early on, still in the first half, just over 4 minutes left to go here in this. And, you know, going into the locker room, if your defense can go back out on the field, do what they've been doing the last couple of drives, and you can even go in knotted up at 14-14, that's huge for your team against a battle-tested Minter Cardinals team like we talked about earlier tonight, a team that was coming in here wanting revenge after the loss last year, and Brunswick really making sure that they hang strong, and they were up to the test.
No, absolutely. This is a team that was kind of rocked by Umset Falls when we saw them, but they showed some promise. Right now we're seeing a team that, okay, non-conference wasn't exactly what we wanted it to be, but now conference play, we're 1-0, clean slate really for us. Let's continue stacking up wins here, and that's exactly what they're looking to do.
Oh, and a play that looks like it's going to get blown up on the reverse. Maybe going to make something out of nothing.
Wow.
The dive. Unbelievable play from the senior, Jack Safko. That one looked like it was going to be buried behind the 5-yard line. They were going to lose yards there and fail on that 2-point conversion. Really smart play from the senior cutting back. He put his body on the line, jumping over the defender into the end zone.
You know, that's one of those plays. It's a broken play. There's a defender in the backfield. Oh no, what do I do? Oh, there's a seam right in the middle of the field, exactly where I need to go. Had to show the athletic ability there. Safko able to make a move, stretch out that extra inch like he's Michael Jordan on Space Jam, and able to get the ball there in the end zone.
Well, it's the perfect comparison because that is probably the time where basketball and football most cross over at the goal line when you dunk over the defender, and that is basically what Safko did there. Put it on a poster. Brunswick at home now tied 14-14 with the visiting Minter Cardinals. Now head coach Matt Gray and his team, still plenty of time for them, as he's going to send his sophomore quarterback Scotty Fox out there again. And I'm sure there was a talk over there on the sideline, hey, you started off great in this game. We've got full confidence in you and full belief. Yeah, the last 2 drives ended in interceptions. Let's get back to doing what we've been doing. You're a good kid. Get back in there. And we'll see what Fox can do here on this drive, but you know they're going to want to go back to the air again with how they play.
Absolutely. This is a team that their best work comes when the ball is in the air. When they move Fox around in the backfield, a lot of motion back there for him. That's when they're at their best.
Here's a return at the 10-yard line. Stapleton looking for some room, trying to cut back. Penalty marker down. And most likely here on the return, that's going to be against the Cardinals. Oh, and after the play, another penalty marker flying up in the air, and that one's going to be a dead ball foul.
Those dead ball fouls are the ones that coaches hate the most because it has nothing to do with your play. It's all about attitude. And you want to get rid of those, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't teach players not to do knucklehead moves sometimes, Cole, and that's where it can be the biggest frustration.
As we await the call from the officials, we do see that is a hold against Minter. And the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty going against the Brunswick Blue Devils. So a penalty apiece for both teams. So as both the offense of the Cardinals and the defense of the Blue Devils coming out onto the field, a reminder that at halftime, we're going to have a brief halftime show, courtesy of Brandon Soder. Also, make sure to stick around for us here. And if at halftime you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so. Again, we greatly appreciate it as we continue to grow our high school football coverage. Also, at the end of the night, make sure to go to keonsports.com, or you can go there tomorrow morning as well and check out coverage of all the games around the area. So Fox ripping it on the first play. Nice completion. And some nice yards after catch there for Cerny. Just a short little route there. Made his man miss and got out to the 42-yard line. 4 wide again, a little clap of the hands there from Fox. Waite to his left, handoff to Waite. Waite bursting through the middle. There's a huge seam for him to hit, and he hit it hard and fast. Up to the 27-yard line, first down.
I like to see him run the ball a little bit more. Trust this offensive line. I really enjoy watching this offensive line play. They're doing a good job getting movement as Brunswick has moved to a 4-down set here.
Once that football's moved past the 30-yard line, this is where the Brunswick defense has really slowed down the Cardinals and started to hold strong. And Brunswick does want a timeout. Talk this thing over. 3.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. As you see on the screen again, knotted up 14-14.
You know, this Brunswick defense, like you said, they do their best work there with their backs towards the ledge here. I think they like the pressure. I think that there's some sense of now we have to set up. This is where we're great. This is where boys become men, right here at the goal line, right at the red zone, where there's not a lot of movement that we can give up now. And they play tough there. And they're really fun to watch. I mean, even Olmsted Falls, we saw a team that would show glimpses of a great defense when their back was against the wall, but they gave up chunk plays before that. They can put it all together. Cool. This could be one of the better defenses that we'll see in the entire area.
Well, as you're watching the Keon Sports Game of the Week, Don, we've been blessed with some great games this year. The GCC has provided us great action last week, and we're seeing a really nice one tonight between Mentor and Brunswick. Offense for the Cardinals, wanting that handoff right after that Brunswick timeout, and the front seven of the Blue Devils was quick to meet that there, and Waite did not have the success he had on his previous carry.
No, this is a Brunswick defense that's now, hey, this is our territory. This is, like we just said, they play their best football here. And they don't want to give up too many yards. They don't want to make it easy here for the Cardinals once they enter the Blue Devils territory.
Waite to the right of Fox. Fox pressure up the middle. He delivers a strike here, finds Cerny. Cerny inside the 20, down to the 12. Marching towards that end zone. Under 3 to go here in the half. And a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Trips right for Fox. Again, he's typically gone to that side. Instead, looking to his left, slant over the middle. Threw that one low, and his receiver had to go to the round, and Nick Jarris down at the 3-yard line.
You know, early on we saw chunk plays back and forth. Then we saw a little case of, hey, let's be methodical, let's be slow. Now it's, hey, let's gain 15 yards, 20 yards here at a time. Hey, let's not get a third down. Let's just keep converting here on first down. Men are really changing their attitude back and forth, almost like they can't decide which way they want to score.
So still a yard to pick up the first down here. 2 in the backfield with Fox. Here's a keeper for Fox. He should have enough to get that first down and set up a 1st and goal for the Cardinals. So taking their time now, and I don't blame them. You don't want to score too fast here and give Brunswick enough time on the other end to go down and score. Keep in mind as well, Brunswick, they do get the ball coming out of half as Minner started with the ball. So you can't necessarily go for the 2-for-1. You want to capitalize here if you're the Cardinals. Trips left, Fox looking left. That one's tipped on the slant, and that front 7 coming up big again there now. Getting those big balls up. They knew they couldn't get to the quarterback, but that's what you have to do as a defensive lineman.
You know, you're taught, especially when you're the guys in the middle there, the nose guard, the tackle. Put your arm up. You're a big guy, usually tall. Put your arms up to fluck the ball there. But cool, you mentioned earlier they got a first down there on a run, but they have it here as a 4th down. So this is a huge possession here, or huge play here.
And interesting on the spot there is it really looked like they got it on that carry. It's been very marginal on how they've been spotting the ball here tonight. It's been a lot of 3rd and inches, 2nd and inches. Here on 4th down, not even going to matter. Touchdown, Cardinals to the corner of the end zone. Holden Cerny.
He's been reliable tonight, Cole. I mean, I feel like every time that I write a passing stat down, it's to 14, to 14, to 14. He is remarkable here tonight. He's made himself available in every which way here for Fox.
Honestly, with where they were spotted, only needed probably about half an inch, if an inch, to get the first down. They just went for the end zone, and PAT is up and good. And now the Cardinals take a 21-14 lead. Still a minute and 1 second on the clock for Brunswick, and their offense come out onto the field, see if they can go 2 for 1 into this half, beginning of the next half.
Yeah, with 1 minute left. I mean, with the way that time works at the high school / college level, see what you can do a little bit, but also tell Roxandich, hey, don't force anything. If he's not there, move around, throw the ball out. We're not going to try to rush anything. But where we could see, hey, good half, guys, let's just take it in.
Yeah, because their game plan has been running the football, and they've been doing it very well. Now, Roxandich had that really big completion to Matthew Horton, took that to the house for the touchdown. Aside from that, not much in the air. You do have those talented receivers. Mention Horton, mention Safko and Sam. So you can absolutely go to those guys. Smaller receivers, shifty receivers, but they're not those guys down the field where you're trying to throw it up to them on jump balls. You're trying to find them in open spaces. So it's probably not going to be, let's take the big shot. It's going to be little by little if you do want to go to the air. Here's the kick. Fielded inside the 10. Safko looking for some room up the middle and really slammed on the brakes there right when he passed the 20-yard line. The offense will come out and start at the 23. 56 seconds remaining here in the quarter. So not a ton of time, like we talked about. We'll see what they decide to do. Long talk here for the offense. Still plenty of time on the play clock. It's down to 15 seconds.
And let's see here, 2 wide receivers tight end to the left.
And they do decide to just hand this one off up the middle. And I think sometimes that first play when you do that really determines what you're going to do the rest of the drive. If they could have broken off a big run there, maybe would have started getting aggressive and go after it. Only picking up 2 yards there. Probably just going to let this clock run here, run another play, go into the locker room.
Why not risk? Why risk it when you don't have to right now for Brunswick? You know, let's keep it simple. You know, this is out of our game plan of what's been working with us. Though I don't mind a one-on-one matchup there on the left there, but they're not going to take it. And it's man, 1 safety playing shallow. Kind of wish they would take it, but they're not going to here.
Yeah, it'd be a surprise if they would. Instead, a keeper for Roxandich. He does surge forward for a couple positive yards. That should be the last play here of the half as we tick down to 5 seconds, and that is going to do it. So we're going to go to the locker rooms. Halftime, 21-14 in favor of the visiting Minter Cardinals, and what has been a very competitive, exciting first half. Of course, like I said, we're going to have a quick halftime show as well, courtesy of Brandon Soder here. So make sure you don't go away. But before we take a break, Dom, question for you. What were your final thoughts there on that first half?
You know, you have a Mentor team that loves throwing the ball. They put the ball on the ground when they feel necessary, but they like throwing the ball around. You have a Brunswick team that loves running the ball, but they can hit play action when necessary. But Roxandich is at his best when he's moving his feet north and south. We have 2 teams that are tight here. They love big plays, but they're starting to drive here a little bit more, getting their offenses to click, while their defenses are making some plays, but not as many as each side would like. So it's a tight battle here, Cole, and it's been real fun for both of us to watch here. I'm really excited for the second half. We could see some fireworks here by both sides here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, so make sure you don't go away. Again, for myself and Dom, we're going to step away and take a quick break. Make sure to stay tuned here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Car Parts Warehouse. If your car is in need of repairs, then the first place you need to call is Car Parts Warehouse. They cut out the middlemen and bring the service right to you. Find them online at carpartswarehouse.net. Cleveland Bakery Collective not only focuses on bringing together some of the best food and flavors in the Cleveland area, but creating a collaborative and supportive environment where local food artists can prepare, produce, store, and sell their delicious products all in one convenient location. Check them out online at clevelandbakerycollective.com.
And welcome into the Key on Sports halftime show. We are in week 6 of our high school football game of the week as the Menor Cardinals have traveled in to take on the Brunswick Blue Devils. I am Brandon Soder taking you through, again, excellent call by the guys, Cole and Dom, in the first half. We've got an exciting game here, folks. Right off the rip, Mentor coming down with a long kick return. Easy score after that to go up 7-0. Brunswick within minutes responding. Missed the extra point, but still 7-6 very early on in this game. And then everything kind of started to slow down. Saw Brunswick's defense start to really step up here. Menor, multiple times, would drive down the field, get to about the 30-yard line, and then this Blue Devils defense really stepped up and forced a punt, or in 2 cases, forced turnovers. So, again, the defense really keeping Brunswick in this one so far. Menor, outside of that opening kickoff, only 2 successful offensive drives. One early on to put them at 14, and then they were able to score at the very end of the half there. But all in all, like I said, Brunswick holding up very well, bending and not breaking, right? And the offense, we also started to see them start to click towards the end of the second half. The run game started it going for them, so expect a lot of that from the Blue Devils coming back. They will receive the ball to start the second half. So, like we said, folks, Menor on top, 21-14 going into the second half. Just a couple of reminders for you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a Menor fan, we are right back in the action with the Cardinals next week as they will travel to Medina to take on the Battling Bees. Make sure you subscribe so that way you will be notified the second we go live for that one. Also, if you're watching live right now, the Back Attack Snacks player of the game is up for grabs. We still have a close game. It could come from either side here. So if you have somebody that you want to be nominated, player that you're watching and thinks deserves recognition, drop that in the chat. And like I said, at the end of the game, post-game show, we will name that Back Attack Snacks player of the game. One more thing for you, folks. Key on Sports is your source for all high school football scores and stories. Just under 30 games being covered tonight. So make sure after this one, after you're done watching, want to see everything else that happened around the world of Northeast Ohio high school football, Key on Sports is the place to go. KeyOnSports.com. Like I said, just under 30 articles going to be posted tonight covering all of the action for you. That's going to do it for me here, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Key on Sports halftime show. The Menor Cardinals currently leading the Brunswick Blue Devils 21-14. We'll be back shortly for the start of the second half.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Cleveland Fitness Club. They have it all: bikes, tracks, courts, and even pools. They truly have something for everyone and are open 365 days a year. You can visit them today at 6600 West 130th Street in Middleburg Heights. Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Dick Esser Plumbing. Get exceptional plumbing repairs and installations for your commercial property from the experienced professionals at Dick Esser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. They provide honest services and quality workmanship. You can find out more about them today at dickesserplumbing.com. Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted. Great Lakes Training. Great Lakes Basketball caters to athletes of all ages and experience levels with a wide variety of training techniques. Book your first session today at www.greatlakesbasketball.com or email Coach J at coachj@greatlakesbasketball.com. Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a trusted member of the auto community for over 20 years. He will treat you right no matter your car buying need. Hinckley Roofing. They are your first choice in commercial and residential roofing. This family-run company has been around for 50 years and is your first choice in trusted roofing needs. You can find them online today at hinkleyroofing.com or call them at 330-273-2979. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare insurance, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or give them a call at 330-304-7267. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Jerome, Grauer, and Associates. They handle estate planning and their steps are so simple. They handle everything from simple wills to complex trust planning. Contact them today for your legal needs at 216-241-9990 or check them out online at jeromelaw.com. Julie Dangerfield of Keller Williams Realty. Julie has the experience, knowledge, and determination to get the job done. Contact her at 440-309-0396 or by email at julieand222@gmail.com for a complimentary market analysis of your home value today. Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Makeaway Dumpster. At Makeaway, customers get discounts on days and prices. They offer 24-hour delivery in most cases, along with 10, 15, 20, and 25 cubic yard containers. With Makeaway, there are no hidden charges for drop-off, pickup, or wait. Find them at makeawaydumpsterrental.com. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Play CLE. Play CLE is the ultimate indoor adventure park in Northeast Ohio. With ziplining, ninja obstacle courses, climbing walls, and the area's largest indoor ropes course, Play CLE is the best option to get inside and have some fun and adventure. It's the perfect place for your next team building event, birthday party, or field trip. With an on-site bar and kitchen, Play CLE makes sure you are properly fueled to reach new heights. To learn more, visit playadventureparks.com or stop by the facility in Avon off 611 and Chester. Salad Craze. Looking to eat healthy and go away happy? Try Salad Craze. They have been voted Cleveland's healthiest restaurant 4 years in a row. Stop in for yourself and find out why at 690 Avon Belden Road in Avon Lake. You can check out their menu at saladcraze.com.
And we're about to get the second half underway here as you are watching the Keon Sports Game of the Week from Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. Everybody who maybe just now tuning in, if you missed the first half, it was a very tight first half and back and forth between these two teams. A couple turnovers for the Cardinals as the Brunswick defense was coming out big, and really that's really what kept their team in it. We didn't see any punts from the Cardinals, but Brunswick, of course, punted a couple times, but like I said, their defense was standing strong as they get closer to their own end zone, back up against their own goal line. 21-14 as you see on your screen. Game started with a big kickoff return for Minter, and now you're going to see Brunswick get the kickoff. They're going to be going from right to left on your screen here at the beginning of the second half. Again, Cole McDaniel with me here, Dom Clary. We talked about it at the end of the first half, how back and forth it was. I'm going to ask you this here, Dom. Obviously, there was 1 minute left for Brunswick at the end of the first half. Wondered if they were going to go for it, try to get down the field, or if they were going to sit on it. They decided to run, sit on it, come out here for the second half. That seems to be their game plan. Would you assume they come back out and try to run the ball up the middle again?
So in halftime, you can't view it as if, okay, we did it in the first half and it worked, let's do it again. That's not how the second half works, especially in high school football. So many adjustments are made, and the play can be inconsistent this time. These kids are young. A lot of them have only played football for a few years. So sometimes you can't rely on, hey, we've been doing this. Menor has made adjustments. I promise you that. Their defense is going to change either attitude or formation or whatever it may be. If you're Brunswick, continue that mentality that you have, but mix it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to do play action, to fall back on that. That's the only major change I would make is, hey, let's go to play action a little bit more.
Kickoff underway. Low kick fielded at the 16-yard line. Took a diving catch there from Safko. So, Dom, if we see what we saw in the first half, I mentioned already how good that first half was. If we see anything like that here in the second, would not be surprised if this turns into an instant classic. Everybody watching and listening, again, we've got a lot on the slate here tonight. Not only the rest of this game, but also at the conclusion of the game, remember to stay tuned after the final whistle for the back attack snacks player of the game. Rock Sandich and the offense onto the field again. 3 wide receivers out there. Saw a lot of 2 wide receiver sets. Man in motion. Handoff to Sam on the jet sweep. Cuts inside. Smart decision there. Wasn't much room if he would have tried to go around the outside. Stuck that left foot in the ground, and cutting inside was able to get him some positive yards. Gain of 7.
You know, they set that jet sweep up usually throughout the game, and they like to use it a few times later on. You know, if you do that fake a little so often, eventually they won't expect it, and boom, got a quick hitter there. Gained a few yards, setting up a good second and short situation.
John Crawford running back to the right of Rock Sandich. He gets the handoff, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Penetration there for the Cardinals defense. In quickly was Ryan Lawson, the big defensive lineman. Third and 3 after no gain on that carry.
But you know that first down play sets you up here. You're still in a good spot here. You can still run the ball if you want.
.12 seconds on the play clock. Two receivers to the near side. Rock Sandich, a keeper, gets bumped in the backfield. Tries to get that surge forward, but that initial bump he took and needing to take a step backwards got that play a little bit out of rhythm. He was still able to get forward for a gain of 2, but it's now going to be 4th and 1. So deep into your own side. I know it's tempting with how dominant your front has been and been able to open up holes for Rock Sandich on the keepers, but close ball game, back deep on your own end. You're not going to chance it. Going to punt it away.
I don't know, Cole. I like playing a little risky. think I would have gone for it there, honestly. I like the risky play.
And they're going to go with the fake here. And I think that's going to be short. I don't think they got it. Honestly surprised if they were going to go for it. They didn't keep the offense out there on the field and run up the middle because that fake didn't work.
You know, with here in special teams, and it is 4th and short, you usually don't change out your line. You usually keep your defense in and keep the main of your special teams unit off onto the side because you're expecting it. And that's exactly what happened. If you're going for 4th and short in your own territory, put your offense out there. Don't have your punt team. Put the people in there that are the best at gaining a yard, and that's not your punt unit, sadly. Now, again, if it's 4th and 6th, then sure, but not when the defense is expecting it.
So can the Cardinals capitalize on the opportunity they have been given? Up a touchdown at this point. Completion out to Jordan Stapleton. Brought down 2 yards short of the first down marker.
Ball just inside the 18-yard line. Second down.
So another trip to the red zone. And again, this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Three receivers to the right side of the field. Here's a slant over the middle. Snow had a little bit of room there, kept bouncing it out to the outside. Not able to beat that final man and get to the end zone. But an excellent yards after catch there for Snow, and haven't seen too much of him really at the end of that second quarter. He was very crucial in that first quarter, though, for the Cardinals.
You know, his release isn't super quick because of the zone defense, but as soon as he gets in the stride there, boys, he just quick.
Here's a snap and the handoff. And Waite found a little bit of room, a couple yards on the carry. Getting closer to the end zone, now second down. So second and goal coming from the 2. The 2 touchdowns we have seen from Scotty Fox have been short passes. Another short one, this one behind his intended target. And actually fortunate there as it looked like Stapleton getting his left hand back and getting his fingertips on that really stopped the defensive back from coming up with the interception there. That deflection was just enough that the Cardinals needed to not have disaster.
You know, if that ball kind of just goes neutral in the air, that could be really bad. Those are not the type of deflections that you want here.
8.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Fox rolling to his right, tosses this one over the defender, and hauling it in is Jacob Snow. Minter extending their lead.
Now, Brunswick, they're going to have to respond really quickly here. They need to get back to the basics here, Cole. But that's a just easy just pass and catch there. You know, Snow wide open. It's just a flat route there, but with the loose coverage there in the slot, there's nothing you can do there for Brunswick. That coverage needs to be tighter there by the safety.
Made PAT, makes it 28-14 in favor of the visitors. Talking about that touchdown, though, and we've seen them a lot when they get inside of 10 yards, roll out Scotty Fox and let him roll either to his left or his right and have protection in front of him and find a short pass. It's worked very well. That time, though, actually had to put over the defensive back as number 7, Diego Castillo, was cheating inside there and just put enough touch on that pass up and over to Snow and made it look easy. Now, if you're Brunswick, really crucial to capitalize here. Keep this tight, try to get it back to a one-possession game.
You know, that's easier said than done here, Cole. This is a Mentor team that does have the momentum. For Brunswick, it's hard to regain momentum when you're doing these small run plays, why not throw it deep from time to time? They're not doing it enough for my liking. Though I do like the run play, do like running the ball, but mix it up a little bit. They're not doing it enough.
And we'll see if they go to the air at all on this drive. Short kick as this one takes a hop just past the 20-yard line and is going to roll out of bounds. So an illegal procedure penalty on the Cardinals.
So lesson here, Cade Somm was the return man. He let that bounce there, but it was on the line. If you're Cade Somm, if you're a young returner that listens to this, and that ball was kind of on the line, it looks like it's going out, put your foot out of balance and catch the ball. You're going to get that out of bounds rolling that you're looking for. But to be a little bit more safe, make sure the ball's in your reliable hands. Have a foot out of bounds when you get the ball, not after, but when you get it, and that penalty will still stand. You see that from time to time in the NFL, not too often. But in high school, try to take advantage of that. Not too many people know about that loophole in the rule.
Rock Sandich, clap of the hand, a keeper, finds a little bit of space, a nice carry there. And jumping on that pile right at the end there, a guy we haven't talked about yet, but one of those key players there on the defense of the Menor Cardinals, and that's defensive end number 47, Brennan Vernon, the senior, also going to be playing Division I football here this next year, Notre Dame commit. See his size out there on the field. And a lot of credit to the Brunswick offensive line as they've really been able to keep him quiet here so far. So he's looking to make the tackle, and the initial wrap up there for the Cardinals. Not much of a gain there on the carry. Maybe back to that initial line of scrimmage there.
You know, they actually gave us a list of all the Menor players that are currently playing at the next level, and it is just extraordinary. I mean, usually it's like 2-3 kids, but there's a whole lineup of kids that play at the next level. Really is extraordinary what this program does year in and year out.
Roxandich, a keeper, need to get a couple yards to get the first down. He got much more than that into Cardinals territory. Excellent blocking, hit that hole fast, and Roxandich having a good night on the ground. Penalty marker down on the near side. Going against the Cardinals on another encroachment, and just a little bit over antsy. We've seen that a few times here, jumping off sides. Extra 5 yards for Brunswick, and now the ball is on the 41-yard line. 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Look over to the sideline here. Tight end to the near side of the field. 2 receivers out to the far side. Tight end now in motion to the right. Handoff. Found the hole. And Crawford trying to spin out of a couple tackles there, and just about a yard short of the first down. Maybe the best carry on the night so far for number 14, John Crawford.
You know, they really like that pairing between him and the Rock there in the backfield. Getting a little shorter there for first down, but still able to get close to the sticks. This is a beautiful second and short opportunity. This is where you can take a shot here. Defense is still playing back a little bit, but this is a good chance here that you can kind of, hey, let's throw the ball here. Second and short, because on third down, you only need, what, a yard, 2 yards at most. And in fourth down, it is fourth down territory here for Brunswick.
Tight end in motion again. Roxandich, a keeper. He's going to run off to the left-hand side. Gets enough to get the first down. Taken down at the 30-yard line. Move the chains again.
I like that motion there. Have the tight end move from the right side to the left side, and boom, as soon as he gets to his spot, he goes forward, kind of steals off the edge there, and you're able to get your quarterback, number 13, Roxandich, around the edge, a little outside zone there, QB. I wouldn't say it a sweep, but more of like a QB power to the outside. You have your lead blockers as your tight ends there. Got a few of them out there. Got two on one side here, and that's what they did last time as well.
Roxandich hands this one off to Crawford. Crawford gets to the 29-yard line, gain of 1.
Arose and Hoto finally tackle.
Only down 2 scores. Clock not really a factor here yet. Brunswick just taking their time. Still in the third quarter. Again, we'll still have a full fourth quarter coming up. Keep doing what you're doing. Again, Brunswick really wants to just find the end zone here. Doesn't matter how much time it takes them. Minter can't stop the run.
Straight drop to Roxandich.
But they're going to pass here.
Scrambles. In trouble, goes down.
And did not work out. So expected that Brunswick was going to continue to run the ball.
Sack.
Tried to change up what they've been doing here on this whole drive. And Roxandich ended up not finding an open receiver there. Good coverage there by the secondary of Minter. Roxandich had to tuck, but it was a little too late and swallowed up in the backfield.
I understand taking the shot there, right? But why isn't it play action? Because that opens things up. Again, there was a blitz. Maybe it wouldn't have been the best, but it would open things up more.
Here's the pressure in the face. Roxandich floats this one in the direction of his intended receiver, Cade Som. Tight coverage there, swatting that one away. Som got up and tried to meet that one at the highest point.
Broken up by Kellen Graham.
Kellen Graham, the junior defensive back, though, recovering very well.
It's 4th down.
So 4th and 11. It's a long 11 yards to get there, Dom. We haven't seen many 10-plus yard plays here for Brunswick, but in a bit of a no man's land here, they're going to keep the offense on the field. Roxandich back to pass. He's got pressure behind him. He's going to need to get away. Hit as he throws this one. A duck as it floats up in the air, out of bounds. The incompletion results in a turnover on downs, and that play was blown up very quickly.
I get at the last 2 plays had been runs, but why the second down pass? Why mix it up from what you were doing and it's been working? It's almost like we're almost doing too good here on this possession. Let's do something that really hasn't been our forte this season. I don't know. I guess that doesn't make too much sense to me here, Cole.
The drive was going really, really well because you were ahead of the chains really that whole drive. That incompletion on second down is what changed everything there in that drive. You were spot on. 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Pressure in the face of Fox. Gets that one away just before taking the hit and going to ground. Pressure definitely affected that throw. Short and skips in front of the intended target. 2nd and 10. A little bit of movement there for the Brunswick defense. Shifting out as the linebacker coming all the way out to the near side. Fox throws to the flats on the outside. After the completion, just gaining about 3 additional yards with Stapleton. Toomey makes that tackle, now 3rd and 8.
You know, one thing that I really like here about Menor is that they let their quarterbacks kind of make the reads. They're short plays, right? They have some options where he can go deep, but he can kind of chip away. Brunswick doesn't have any of that. They're all deep plays there for passing.
Fox back to pass again. Looking to the outside and a diving completion there. Stapleton hauling it in. Leading receiver on the team coming into the night, as I mentioned earlier, with 22 receptions. Give him another one.
He's just a special talent there at wide receiver. Stapleton, the senior, And he knows how to find space. They put him in the slot from time to time. But boy, they just know how to find him no matter where he is on the field.
Here's a handoff as Snow took the snap. Gives it to Waite. Waite had room up the middle. Got a couple yards up the middle and then decided to go out to the left, and that was a smart decision as he got past the first down marker into Blue Devils territory. 2 minutes remaining here in the quarter. And it looks like this is going to be a penalty here. The official's talking this one over, stopping the clock at the moment. And it's going against the Minter Cardinals. So back them up after a really nice gain on that carry.
Those penalties, man, they'll just kill you. As an offensive guy, it breaks my heart to see penalties move you have a good possession, it just moves you back. Oh, I despise offense. They should just remove offensive penalties completely out of the game.
You know, they always have that saying, and that was a dead ball foul, but I know you'll enjoy this. They always have that saying that there's holding on every play. Dom, for you, it's the opposite. Holding, there's no such thing.
I've never seen holding in my life, Cole.
Getting the dead ball penalty there, though, on sportsmanlike conduct against the Cardinals. Snow in the backfield. He's going to take the snap here.
I don't understand this coverage. There's only two corners of safety, but look how far back he is.
Perhaps it's because Snow is in. They know he's not going to throw. Willing to take the risk and a handoff up the middle, but if you're Minter, take advantage.
That being said, they've done that the whole game. That's not a one-off situation. I understand you're playing cover, but they're picking you apart with 3-yard plays that are resulting in 15 yards. This isn't a one-off thing because Snow was back there. They are picking you apart in every aspect of the passing game. Why not change it up? This cover 2, this deep cover 2, this cover 3 that you're doing isn't working. Play a little bit more up. Now, you look on the bottom of your screen. Look how far. There's only 2 people there and a safety really far back, wide open in the middle.
Pressure from behind, and Fox is going to be brought down. The big defensive lineman coming up huge for the Blue Devils on defense. Applying that initial pressure, making Fox look down the field, and he kept his eyes down the field, credit to him, but tripped up from behind. Big sack there for number 66, Constantino Bavier.
Crowd's back into it, Cole.
30 seconds left. Fox, pressure from behind again. He's going to get hit. He gets it away. Snow catches it and taken down at the 40-yard line. 4th down. So Chase Buckner on the tackle there. And the Cardinals probably going to punt here, but we will wait and see what they decide, as that's going to do it here for the third quarter. Minter on the road holding a 28-14 lead. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter on Key On Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family, as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com. TNT Construction. They provide residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com.
Back for the start of the fourth quarter here. Key On Sports Game of the Week, Week 6 from Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium in beautiful Brunswick, Ohio. Gorgeous, crisp, cool evening for some high school football. And Brunswick going to get the ball back here following the punt, the first punt on the night for the Cardinals. Going to be downed at the 39-yard line, and that is where Rock Sandich and the Brunswick offense returned to the field. And the last drive that they had, you and I touched on here a little bit ago, last drive that they had, everything was going really well. They were on track with exactly what they wanted to do, running the ball successfully, getting 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. And once they got to about the 30-yard line, things started to fall flat. Second down, incompletion, got them behind and off schedule. And so then they had to go to the air again and weren't able to convert on fourth down. Will they go back to the ground? With about 12 minutes left to go here in this game. They will. Roxandich, a keeper. He's going to look to bounce here to the near side. That north and south running has been what's successful. East to west, not kind to Roxandich. He's taken down a yard loss.
Again, young Roxandich is phenomenal between the tackles. And that play is designed to be outside the tackles, but you have a guy in motion that's kind of supposed to seal things off, give you a hole between, right between your tackle and that wide receiver, and he went outside of it, and there's no one to block for him out there.
Two receivers to the far side. Tight end in motion. Roxandich rolling to his left. Looks like this is going to be a pass, but he's got pressure in front of his face, and oh man, Dom. You know, Roxandich, not much he could do there. Got his ankles taken out. Huge loss, and everything is going backwards right now. Back-to-back plays for the Blue Devils.
Oh, Cole, when it rains, it pours sometimes here in football, and that's exactly what's happening. Things are working out well for you if you're Brunswick, and then slowly this Menor team is just tiring you out. There's nothing you can do. Your defense is all over the field, and it seems like they're constantly on the field. Offense isn't really able to get much going anymore. It's almost like, what do we do? How do we get things going here? I'd imagine this will be a deep pass where they might save face and just run the ball here.
Back to pass. Little screen here for the tight end, and ton of white jerseys in front of him. And he is quickly taken down at the 25-yard line. Watala been a big part of that blocking there. He's really been that tight end H-back that's been in there and blocking along with that line and clearing out space. But talked about it. It's almost hard to believe how well Brunswick had moved the football throughout this game. Really hardly took any negative plays, any losses. And the end of that last drive and now this drive, really nothing could go right for them. Here's the punt. This one, a little bit awkward, a wobbler. Caught at the 46-yard line, and that is where Fox and the Cardinals offense return to the field, up 2 scores.
You know, when you have an identity as an offense and you stick to that, right, sometimes it can make things easy in certain games, make things a lot harder in others. In high school, I played on a team where our identity was our offensive line's better than yours, or we have the best running back in the state. And then in college, we have the best offensive line in the conference. We have the best running back in the conference as well. Well, sometimes teams have a defensive line just as good, and it can be hard to keep that identity. What do you do when that identity is being questioned?
Throw out to the near side. Completion, and Stapleton looking to get out of bounds, and gang tackled there. Out past the 50-yard line, though.
No, but when you have the identity questioned, okay, let's pass the ball. That's easier said than done. If you're not a good passing team, you just can't pick it up. Same with a team that's not a good rushing team. It's hard to pick that up sometimes against a team that has shut your identity down, because then you have that panic where you're all looking at each other. What do we do? This has never happened to us before. Brunswick needs to kind of add on to that identity.
Fox rolling to his right, finds a man, and tripped up, and it's going to be just short of the first down marker there on the catch for Cerny. Now third down, and as I mentioned, very short there. And what you're talking about as well, the base 3-4 defensive Menor. They like to apply pressure on the blitz. They're great against the pass. They haven't been able to stop the run, so it is a little bit surprising, like I said, making that little adjustment. We'll obviously see what happens. There's plenty of time on the clock. We're obviously going to see Brunswick get the football again. But can you stop Mentor as they continue to move the football? And that encroachment penalty not going to help the Blue Devils. And both of these defenses just getting over antsy. We've seen multiple encroachment penalties on both teams.
It has been a sloppy day, to say the least, Cole.
3 receivers to the near side of the field. Fox fakes the handoff, throws the slant, in and out of the hands of Stapleton. A mistake from the senior receiver, and nearly into the arms of Toomey for his second INT of the night. He dove for that one just a little bit wide of where he could get to it.
That happens from time to time. Throw it a little bit away from your wide receiver. Disaster could happen. Kind of stayed away from it, but could have been bad there, Cole.
Danger averted for Minter. Drive still intact. Ball on the 40-yard line, under 8 minutes left to go. Fox throws a deep pass, finds Cerny, and he catches the football just a little bit out of bounds.
You know, I thought for a second that I'm like, he's really close to that line there. How was he not out? And I'm like, oh, he caught it. It was out of bounds, but boy, that would have been a special play.
Yeah, it was thrown in a great spot. A lot of credit to the sophomore quarterback in Fox. Put it where his receiver could get to it. Just Cerny had to drift a little bit, almost, despite being vertical and just going down the field. I mean, it almost looked like one of those fades as well, because it was drifting out to that sideline the whole way. So after the incompletion, Fox rolling to his left, nearly an interception, route jump by Toomey in the direction of Stapleton. And that was a crucial stop for the Brunswick defense. They're on 3rd down, and now decision time if you're the Cardinals. In no man's land right now. Will they punt? Will they keep the offense on the field?
7:40, right? You're up by 2 touchdowns. I would punt it. Doesn't seem like they're going to do that. Let's make it as hard as possible for them to get back in the game with a punt, back with their backs towards their own goal line. As a rushing team, that's a tough position to be in.
Well, play clock now down to 6 seconds. They are going to snap it on 4th and 10. Pressure up the middle on the slant. Official got in the way, but Snow still made the catch off the tight coverage by the official up the middle. But first down now for the Minter Cardinals.
So what? That official was playing some good coverage there. I mean, right on Snow, who I believe you said caught it. Wow, that maybe give that ref there a helmet. Might be able to get back to his glory days and play some linebacker there, apparently.
Well, we've got that on tape. If he's got college eligibility, we can see if we can get him to the next level here.
Hey, maybe Ohio State needs a guy. Haven't been able to watch Ohio State this year, but hey, maybe they need someone at linebacker here, Cole.
After the completion to the 27-yard line, here's a handoff to Waite. Waite with a quick burst of speed. Gain of a few yards there. And the clock continuing to tick down. So the clock now becoming another enemy of Brunswick, not their friend here at the moment. Minter just content with draining that clock and running it down right now. Again, still sticking to their bread and butter, the spread. 4 wide receivers out there going to the air once again. Short pass, a little bit wide of Stapleton as he was cutting to the outside of the field. About a yard ahead of him.
And for those that will be looking for this article tonight, it will be posted very late tonight. I am heading back to Western PA to make the drive shorter to State College tomorrow morning. So if you're looking for it right after the game, usually it's posted about an hour after the game. You're like, why is this guy not posted it yet? It'll be posted later tonight. You'll see it tomorrow morning.
Fox to pass again. They went back to the same route that was incomplete right before. Stapleton, short out route. Gets the yardage that he needs to get to the first down marker. Moves the chains again. Drive continues. Again, credit to you, Dom. Again, always appreciate you here serving as the color man. Doing a great job, but also, like I said, taking stats during the game, tweeting things out as well, writing the recap article, man of many talents. Also a shout out to Brandon Soder over there, making sure everything runs smoothly here with the stream as well. Does a great job there, operating the camera and running halftime for us, and always here and available for us whenever we need him. Fox slant again to Snow. This is just slant after slant after slant and short out routes. That's all they're doing. Short little things.
Well, you know why, right?
Yeah.
Because they're playing a cover 3. 'Cause there's no one within 5 yards to stop them. Why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's not even close to broke. It is working to perfection, right? And there's a simple solution to this, right? Run a cover X, also it's just a man. Run man, and then have 2 safeties playing zone to cover things deep or into the middle. There's solutions to this. I understand the zone is so you don't get burnt, but they're not burning you. They're killing you with patience here, and they're really effective at it in the passing game.
Hand off to Snow. A lot of blue jerseys there, closing that hole that was only open for a split second. Down once again at the 5-yard line. Looks like a Cardinals player is down on the field. Hate to see that here, and an injury timeout on the field with 5 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Minter continuing to drive.
Now, one thing I want to talk about here, Cole. I talked about it actually last time we were here. Barely mentioned it, didn't really have time to, but now we have a little bit of a break as they're tending to a player on the field. So last time before we came here, I did some research wondering why the Blue Devils. Why is that such a common name, especially in high school sports? Duke Blue Devils as well. In my area, there was a school where some of my family went called the Sharpsville Blue Devils. I was always curious, why the Blue Devils? It seems really weird. Why not the red? Why not the purple? Why not the yellow? Well, it's actually pretty cool. So, it's odd but so common. I found that the nickname was given to a regiment of French soldiers in World War I, Les Diables Blues, or the Blue Devils. And then a quote here. This is from Duke University. Only the strongest, both mentally and physically, could pass the rigid examination before he could become a Blue Devil. They also wore blue with the white trim. That's why every school that's a Blue Devil usually doesn't have any other color other than blue and white. Sometimes you see red sprinkled in there.
I would also hope if they're Blue Devils,
Well, of course. Well, usually schools have an actual second color other than white, and of course the white is the secondary.
Penalty marker on the field as we get this game back in action, and a false start on the offense, backing them up. Well, you talked about the meeting there, and appreciate that as always. Great insight there, Dom. Definitely interesting. And this defense, actually this whole home team and the Brunswick Blue Devils, they're going to need to tap into that Blue Devil strength here with just over 5 minutes remaining. Only down 2 scores. Going to need to try to make some sort of a stop here, force a turnover, going to need to be aggressive.
Some comparisons, right? Wearing blue and white, the French soldiers, they had their back to French territory during World War I, being pushed by the opposition, but they pushed back and able to hold strong for 4 years. Can this team do it here?
2nd and 11, slant up the middle, and a completion there to Stapleton, once again going back to the slant.
Little history lessons going on here, Cole.
Just needing 2 yards here. 3rd and goal. And a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com.
Men are really taking their time here. They get all their signs there from the sideline. No types of huddle here for them.
Snap to Fox, rolling to his left, has a man wide open, touchdown, Minter, Nick Jarez. And that's pretty much going to do it here, Dom. A lot of credit to Brunswick of what they did in the first half. But here in the second half, Minter has just done what they needed to do. Honestly, they've stuck to playing pretty conservative, not actually taking many deep shots. They're just throwing those slants, short little completions, and they're marching their way down the field. And after that made PAT, they now lead 35-14.
Now with how teams do film, a little different from when I played. But now when you do film, you can look immediately and look at that film in the middle of the game. I think Menor saw, why are we throwing the ball down the field? We can kill them with kindness, essentially, just slants, out routes. Like you said, make it very simple for us, be methodical, drain the clock, but also end their hopes of getting back in the game. It's worked really well for them, and this is a team I mean, I'll tell you what, Cole. And I'm going to check when they play, but two teams that like passing the ball in this conference, Mentor and Medina, and we have them. That's not next week, is it?
Next week.
Oh, cool.
We are at Medina as Mentor goes to visit, and that is going to be a game.
I mean, two quarterbacks that I think that are some of the best, two of the best that we've seen. Let's just put it out there.
Right.
Two of the best that we've seen, both young, I believe. Fox is sophomore.
Yep.
I believe in Medina it's the same case.
Stoddard a junior.
Yeah. So he's a junior. So we're going to have an exciting matchup next week, and I know this was kind of a taste of what Mentor really is. I'm excited for that matchup.
On the kick, going to be fielded at the 8-yard line. Som looking for some space, getting around the edge, and gets out to the 30-yard line, and that's where he's pushed out of bounds. Nice little return there from the receiver. Talked about the matchup that we will see next week. Here's the similarities and comparisons as well. Saw a lot of good things from Fox, made a lot of big throws, a lot of completions, a couple interceptions though. Stoddard, same thing last week. A lot of completions, coming up big on fourth down many times. Plenty of touchdowns, but there were some interceptions as well. So we'll see if both of these teams can play a pretty clean game when it gets to next week between Medina and Mentor. But it's going to be a fun one. Make sure that you pay attention to that one here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel, as once again, that will be then our Keon Sports Game of the Week for Week 7. The Rock Sandich, was going to his left, saw that no hole there, but opened up to his right, goes directly up the middle and gets a gain of a few yards.
So you know what else is also the comparison to last week as well? It's really weird, actually. They both went against teams that we saw very early in the year in Strongsville, now Brunswick. Two quarterbacks who are sophomores, who are struggling to be consistent throwing the ball, who mainly use their feet to score for their team. That is a very odd comparison of Beard and Rock Sandich.
Rock Sandich on the run. A dive there, and a lot of credit, though, to Safko as he laid out for that one. Tough throw for Rock Sandich on the run. Nearly put on the money, just needed to bring it a little back to the right. Safko, the senior, nearly made the huge diving catch.
You know, like next year, I expect Rock Sandich to make that throw next year. I feel like next year we're going to see the best quarterback play that we've possibly ever seen in this conference, Cole. I feel like that's going to be a conversation that we have.
Very possibly. Down the middle of the field into coverage, and that's Titan.
Ooh.
Huge hit there. Coming forward was the safety, Caleb Poda, the senior, and going to be an injury timeout as wide receiver got rocked. Huge hit there, and hopefully receiver down is okay. Again, didn't quite see the number there. 3 minutes left to go here. It's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, so what we saw there was two players going for the ball, no contact on purpose, and the Mentor defender landed right on the wide receiver there. So that was completely accidental. Hopefully it's just the wind's knocked out of him, but let's hope for the best. Everyone's paying their respects here on the Brunswick sideline. So let's hope he's all good here, Cole.
Yeah, absolutely. And as there's this injury timeout, I want to say this and go back to what you're talking about in the quarterback play when it comes to next year and what we expect to see. Already going to be a good year in this conference. Plenty more conference ball coming up from week 7 to week 10 at the end of the season. But as we see, wide receiver walking off the field, number 3, Matthew Horton, who scored the first TD on the night. Getting maybe just a stinger there as he took the massive hit. Glad to see him back on his own 2 feet walking off. The quarterback play next year could be really interesting. Nolan Beard of Strongsville looked much improved from the first week of the season when we saw him compared to last week.
Absolutely.
Huge strides in the right direction. Rock Sandich having some strides in the right direction. We see the ability on the ground. Can he take the strides with his arm? We know that Stoddard has the ability. We know that Fox has the ability as well. Those 4 guys alone could make things very, very interesting.
And, you know, we don't cover them this year, but doesn't Euclid have a young team once again? Because last year their entire team were sophomores, freshmen, and juniors. I don't think they had any seniors when we saw them last year.
And we will see what they put out there on the field, and definitely some interesting things in the conference as well. We'll see again if there's a little bit of movement. Again, we heard some rumblings about that in the press box last week. Don't know too much details-wise if there are any new teams adding, but we will see about that as well.
There is a team leaving. I'm not going to say who because I don't know if it's true. I think it might be.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it.
Not too sure on if anybody's leaving or if anybody's joining. We don't have official confirmation there, but like I said, we expect the play on the field to be really interesting next season, and we'll see what happens as well as who all those teams will be as well. Sometimes we see some movement from conference to conference.
We saw that last year.
Yeah, we saw North Olmsted leave the SWC.
And had success in the conference they moved to as well.
A couple teams as well join the SWC, a conference that we're very familiar with as well. Under 3 left to go after the handoff.
1 yard gain on the play, second down.
Second down after the gain of 1. New running back into the game for the Cardinals as well. Number 21, Brandon Orsog, the senior. Really, you're just going to see Mentor at this point drain the play clock. Just kill the game out here, walk away with the win, and a revenge victory is what they're going to get here tonight after losing last season. Here's a handoff. Not much room to run. Stumbles forward for maybe a gain of 1.
So real quick, you have any? What are some of the pick'ems here for not just tomorrow but Sunday? Any that you and Vince argued about that you need a second opinion on or third opinion on?
You know what? And honestly, a great plug there for the Climate Tech Inc. NFL Prediction Show. Vince and myself in the 3rd season of doing that show. Again, Dom, you have joined us in last
year,
season a time or two. As
we'll see. We'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, and so Vince and I are putting that show up on YouTube. Make sure to check that out each week. But this week, we'll touch on it here after this play, but we were actually in unison. Handoff again, some room to run. Getting out near the first down marker, should be about a half a yard short there. So we'll set up a 4th down with 1 minute remaining.
Did you guys do any pick any college? That's my thing right there, Cole, is the college. So
always, we start the show off again with 3 college games and a couple that we talked about. Florida at Tennessee, number 20 at number 11 there. We always do a Big Ten game in addition to a top 25 game, and that happens to be Wisconsin at number 3 Ohio State.
Huh.
And then we talked as well about, we always do another game. It just so happened that I tossed in there Maryland at number 4 Michigan, because Maryland, team to watch out for.
Possibly. We'll see how Tua's brother does there. But they're at Maryland. One game I'm actually really excited for. I told you about the show. I think that Kansas Duke game.
Yeah.
2 undefeated teams, both not ranked. But, that's what football is about, right? 2 teams that their program. I mean, Duke usually has
2 basketball schools.
2 basketball schools. Well, Duke is usually a little bit better in I mean, I would say equal conferences, but they're a little bit better in the ACC. We saw them, it was 2013, I believe. They were in the ACC championship game, then lost to Texas A&M in at the time, a BCS bowl, when that was a huge deal. But, so we've seen success there by Duke. Jamison Crowder was a wide receiver that left there, and he was phenomenal. I think he's their all-time leading receiver. But they've kind of slowly fallen off there. Daniel Jones, when he left, kind of faltered off. They kind of haven't been able to get back to their, to former glory, if you want to say that. But Kansas has not been relevant since 2007, Cole.
Always loved that Friday nights lead us into really a great weekend of football at all levels. And here's the punt on the 4th and 1. Just going to send this one away. And that one takes a bounce in favor of the Cardinals, and it will be down at the 26-yard line. 19 seconds left in this one. Also, to mention what Dom said, he's going to be traveling out to Happy Valley as, again, Penn State just loving playing against MAC schools here in the non-conference this
Oh,
year.
it's all the Big Ten schools, cool.
So you get to make the trip out there
Absolutely.
again here. Yeah, the Big Ten and the MAC play a lot of non-conference against each other.
Absolutely.
So trip out to Happy Valley once again for you for that one. Again, make sure you check out Dom's MAC coverage on KeonSports.com. Does a great job of that. And also, reminder, as I'm talking about KeonSports.com, again, we've been covering nearly 30 high school games in the area every single week. So if you haven't been going to KeonSports.com into the night on Friday night or during the weekend, make sure you do so. Here's a handoff, Crawford up the middle, and that should do it for this game. Going to be the last play of the game, and the Minter Cardinals get their revenge. They've now won 14 of the last 15 against Brunswick. Back on the track that the visitors want to be on, and they come away with a 35-14 victory. Brunswick now falls to 2-4 overall, 1-1 in the GCC. Minter moves to 3-2 on the season, and in their Greater Cleveland Conference opener, they now move to 1-0 in the conference. Before we flip this to taking a quick break and then going to our post-game show, Dom, I do want to ask you before we get to the post-game show, I'm just going to ask you, what were your thoughts there at the end of this game?
It was just kind of matters. They're back at full strength. They're not, or mainly at full strength. Uses injuries this time of the year, but they're not as injured as they were last year. They're kind of getting their groove. They know their identity. Brunswick still trying. They know they're running the ball. Their defense is bend but don't break, but they're still figuring everything out as they go. There's still a lot of growing pains on this Brunswick side. Well, Menor is starting to get in stride as they go to Medina, and yeah, that's what we saw. We saw one team going in stride, but one team still figuring out what that stride is.
So don't go away, as the Keon Sports Game of the Week post-game show is coming up here in just a moment. And a reminder that the announcement of the Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game also coming up. We'll be right back.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Travel by Mickey. Now is the time to make memories once again, and Mickey Beachler with Travel by Mickey is just the person to make all the arrangements for your dream vacation. Reach out to her at Mickey Beachler at mousemadesimple.com to begin your next big trip today. With Mickey, you get to experience all of the fun with zero hassles or stress of any kind. From a Disney cruise to a trip to the Greek Isles, she has every dream destination covered from liftoff to touchdown. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton. Westside Flea. Ohio's favorite flea market and festival will be coming back this spring and summer once again. The Westside Flea has something for everyone and will be held at North Olmsted Park on August 20th and September 17th. You can find them on Facebook at Westside Flea to learn more.
And back to wrap this one up for the Keon Sports Game of the Week post-game show. Cole McDaniel here with Dom Clarion. Dom, first thing we're going to get to here is the Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game. They are a healthy option on the go and provide the very best option in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. And Minter, they got it done. And with getting this thing done and winning this game, we were both in agreement that it was very much so a team win. All around, all the guys got it done, and it was almost hard to pick this Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game because there were multiple candidates, but I'm going to toss it to you for our winner.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, Cole. I mean, you have like 5 different people that scored on all their touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, 5 different people scored. That doesn't make it easy for us picking. But I think we both kind of, our first person that we had on our list, I mean, we both had a pretty long list in the discussion. Jacob Snow was the guy here today.
Right.
I mean, he's your running back. He's your quarterback. He's your quarterback / running back / wide receiver / whatever you need him to be. he was a guy there for them, had a touchdown late in the game to extend the lead there by 2 touchdowns, kind of stealed it away for them. Yeah, they put him in the slot, get him in slants, put him out as a primary wide receiver, and then hit him with out routes, ran the ball as a quarterback, ran the ball as a running back. He is one of those players that I think we're going to be looking forward to seeing for the rest of the year, and especially next week, Cole, as he's our player of the game.
Well, Snow, the senior on the roster, listed as a quarterback / DB. You could put so many more slashes behind that, as you mentioned. Best definition, really is a gadget player. He does it all, not only on offense, and you see him all over the place. On defense, again, one of the guys out there on the field leading that secondary. And the defense in the second half, they got it done. So despite the offensive production that he did have, again, you have to think about the way they stepped up in that second half. They were able to shut down Brunswick really in the second, and what was a close game, and we wondered if Brunswick could keep this close and turn it into an instant classic. It was not meant to be, and like I said, Minter ultimately got the win there. We've got a huge game next week, still in the Greater Cleveland Conference, so everybody who's a Minter football fan out there and you've been watching, if you have not hit that subscribe button, a reminder, please do so. Again, you can also turn those notifications on to see when we go live next Friday. It will be a couple minutes prior to game time. Going to be a really good matchup, and honestly could be the matchup that decides the whole conference, Dom.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we kind of missed out on that last year due to Medina having all those injuries, or Menor, pardon me, and Medina kind of ran away with it. But this year, that's not the case. We have a Medina team, still a strong quarterback, still a strong offense, but they lost the best quarterback in the country in Jubilar, right? And now you have a Menor team that's, hey, we're back to full strength. This is our conference, and we're going to make sure everyone knows that. It's going to be a beautiful matchup in the making, Cole. This is why we announce. This is why we cover this area. I know I'm excited. I can only imagine you're just as excited as I am.
Yeah, absolutely excited for that one. And then taking a look at Brunswick, of course, not winning this game, going to obviously hurt a little bit, always does after a loss. They're just going to have to pick their heads up, get right back after it. They were coming into this one on a 2-game win streak, like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Yes, you lost this one to Minter. You got a long season yet to come. There's a lot of talent still on this team. We saw some improvements as well from week 2 as they were playing here against Olmsted Falls. So some steps in the right direction as well. A lot of conference play left to come. Again, this is a team where you'd expect with the talent that they have, we'll see what they can do. But absolutely, they've still got the playoffs in their sights, but you have to take it week by week.
Absolutely.
So that's going to do it for us here for the Keon Sports Game of the Week. For Cole McDaniel, for Dom Clary, as well as Brandon Soder, want to thank everybody for watching and listening live, as well as if you play this one back. Also, make sure to go and check out KeonSports.com for the written recap article of this one and all other area games. Everybody, enjoy your evening. Have a great